Let us continue playing Motorsport Manager. When we last left off, we had a reasonable race in Australia. Now we go to Brazil and try to round out what is a good season here. If we outscore the Williams team beneath us, we should definitely have this. God damn it, we still haven't found anybody decent. We should have 4th place in the championship sewn up. Here's what I meant to say there. Money is still coming in, only a plus 66 at the moment, which is bizarre that it keeps changing like that. And we do have a new sponsor that we can pick up as well, so hopefully they'll give us enough money. Car repair is now done, so let's go back to part improvement, which is exactly where we want it, I think. Rio, high-speed corners, so rear wing, engine and suspension, all of which I think we've already maxed out as much as we can. Okay, maybe we'll put that on as well. 2 days for the race, so that'll be fine. And we finished design of a new front wing. So this is our quick front wing part here, and we might build another quick front wing here because we need to get to the better upgrades as fast as we can. Now, annoyingly, I don't actually have an upgrade for the great level, but I think we will continue to work on here, make sure we get the best one possible before the start of the next season. So we will go and build the ultra quick one. Puts us into the red. This was a risk. I knew this was going to happen. Good news is our sponsored objectives are now arrived, so I'm waiting for all 3 of them. So which one of you is going to offer me some money? 13... Oh, these are all terrible. Comparatively. I mean, heck, I'm at least getting some money out of them, so I might just take this, but... 9 races? No, I think we take Martini for 4 races, because... Well, it's a slightly lower payment. It's enough to matter for the moment. And actually, it was a bigger reward as well, wasn't it? Yeah, 400,000 for the pool. Yeah, it's fine, and it's given us enough money that we can build one more part if we need to. I think I might even just see about this. There we go. So the chairman is now less than thrilled with us, but we've been doing so well that I feel that was an automatic. We had to do that at some stage. Okay, front wing is finished. Let's now go and design a new front wing. This one... Oh, we do have these parts. Why did I think we didn't? Interestingly, we have a risk reduction upgrade on this, which unfortunately means it doesn't have any actually good parts here. Still, we'll go with that. We've got to make this somewhat decent because we are going to use this one. Mind you, I don't know how I can... Maybe I'll do that. Because that's the biggest possible gain I can make compared to things. I can then add the random legendary component for the last one. 5 days after the race, we'll then have an extra few days to get that last one finished and built. We've got just enough time. Okay, let's go to part improvements. So what we need to do now is get both these front wings set up and also get both of these ready, race ready. Again, we might not end up using these, but they are technically better than what we currently got, so... Well, they technically could be better than what we got. At the moment, they're not guaranteed to be. Alright, let's cull the engine because we know we got better ones. That was only improvement because it is our race engine. So 2 points per thing there. If I get that up to 1 point each per day, 5 days. That's still not actually better. And definitely not more reliable. Now what I've done here is I've built worse parts. I really want to max things out, but I think, okay, we'll leave that for now. Do that, just that and that. 15-15, or rather we'll go 20-10, see what we can do. Yeah, thank you. So European Racing Series at the Black Sea. And have a quick check on the upgrades. How close are we getting? And it's not a front. It's not one that's going to stress it much, but we've basically got it to not even at the level of our backup part. So I guess we're not using it until it is at that level. So 25.5. Okay, so moving on, we're going to go for our 10 for above bonus here. We should definitely have that one at least. This is a medium tyre wear circuit, which means we can probably make the Ultra Softs last an age on this one. And we're probably never going to use the soft tyre, so we'll go with that. Part fitting, I don't think anything has been built that's going to massively change anything because our front wings are too unreliable to test. So we might as well stick with the parts we got, which is what's shown there. Beyond that, yeah, move on. Race time. So Rio de Janeiro with the little kink at the back I've just noticed. So, Malcazar, Dualatev, car setup then. Let's go for a 15.5, 25.5, 19.2, -2, 9 and 88 is what I've got written down here. So we'll go with that. And of course Ultra Soft, which you can make 11 laps on, which is probably going to be a good thing. 15.5, 25.5, 19.2, 2, 69 and 88. Okay, tire choice again, Ultra Soft. Right, take the practice. So, Dualatev, immediately out you go. You're on a race trim, so yeah, I guess that's fine. Balcazar will also be on a race trim. Now, the actual Mexico circuit isn't all that long. Although now this is a bit closer to the... In fact, this is the actual Brazil thing now, kind of. Yeah, for some reason I didn't recognise it in the old form, but that's because it didn't have the kink and the center S's in it. And then just all-out acceleration from here. But Brazil is one of my favourites F1 circuits. It is just... it's always an interesting race, that's the thing. Something always happens at Brazil. And I know there was going to be some weather possibility here, but certainly more than in the last race of the season. But it'd be interesting to see what actually happens from here. So 2 laps in, nearly got that level 1 established. Downforce bang on. We drop down to 3rd place as well. Is there any water coming on track? None yet. Okay, so that's level 2 Ultras kind of confirmed at this point. I'm tempted to bring one of them in. I might bring Balcazar in here. Just to try and make sure we've got the setup correct, and also just to make sure we've always got somebody out on track. And also it is the halfway point, so... Oh, that's not as good as I thought it was. Well done. Okay, I think you're doing qualifying stints for the end of this. So, how do I go for this? So, the downforce isn't on, so let's go and lower that a couple of points. Let's then lower the handling by 2 clicks and then lower the down back to acceleration a bit, maybe. This feels like it might be wrong, but I'm also concerned that we're not going to get a lot of time to try this, so I might actually just do a quick quali in out for Balcazar here. Maybe even abort it this lap. I don't know. Yeah, we'll bring it straight back in. A 0 lap stint on Ultra Softs. That's better. Okay. So the downforce isn't perfect, but it's good enough to get a 2% increase. Mind you, that wasn't the problem. Let's go down to 49 and just leave it there. So the handling's not perfect either, but the speed balance is near enough. So let's go... Let's go another click, and let's bring that back into line on that front. Try it like that. Same set. So Dulatev's on his in-lap. We've got level 2 on both, at least. Oh, wow. Okay, Dulatev has Dulatev's linked up with us. 99. Well, in that case, add that. Off you go. I'm trying to make his tyres last 6 more laps. That'd be impressive. Thankfully, we don't have the time for it, but... with luck, we might... I don't think we get the qualifying trim now. That might be the one downside with what I did there. We may not actually get level 1 quali out of that, and that might compromise our race setup. We'll see. If Balcazar can start another lap, though, that will at least give the Ultrasoft definite. Make the Ultrasoft definite. I don't think Dulatov will finish the lap in 30 seconds from here, or 25 even. But we at least got level 3. Yeah, that's over. Dulatov will finish his lap and keep running round. Also, though, it's on an in lap, so it isn't going to complete that. Alright, well, that's given us... It's given us kind of what we want. Not perfect, but it's good enough. Oh, no, maybe Balcazar's car worse on that setup. Have a look at that. Ooh, what's it? Whoops. Apparently I managed to click out of the window on a full screen thing. Yeah, that was not a bad session overall. So qualifying 10th or above should be a certainty, I think. Well, I say that. We've actually struggled to get into the top 12, so... Yeah, honk honk to you too. Ultrasoft is the only thing we can equip on both cars at this stage, and the sweetest spots for Dulatev. So that was a 95 from there. That's gotten worse, so... What do we change here? I think we want the downforce to be in the middle. Maybe, actually, maybe I want the downforce higher then. I shouldn't experiment this much, this close to the thing, but I mean, that's good. That was good. So handling could come down another point. So that's where good was. That's where great is. That's probably fine. Is that too close to a good point now? I don't know. Hold on. So that was good. That was great. We're on the other side of the Great Line, just barely, so... I'm going to leave it like that. We basically made a mess of this, but let's just see where that ends up. Dulatev thankfully has a car that is perfectly set up, but I don't think he's going to be competing for the top 10. Let's just see what happens. Take qualifying, and we will probably try for free runs here. So we'll immediately send out Balcazar. And we will immediately send out Dulatev. Okay, also is on. There you go. So we should be able to get 3 stints out of this if it comes to it. I don't think our Dulacev's getting closer to Balcazar at this point. It's almost suggesting that... Go on, cool it down, cool it down, cool it down, cool it down. Perfect. And great overheated, but nearly within the window for Dulacev. Alright, let's see what we can manage. Balcazar leading Dulacev. Dulacev 0.15 down. Now half a second down in the first sector because, of course, of the guy behind us, which is either Bergman or Wexler. Oh, Dulacev's already 1.7. Balcazar 1.3. And on the dash to the line is 1.9 seconds slower. That's miles behind where we've been. Lipponen is 0.2 ahead of us. Well, we are faster than Fischer at least, so that's good. And I imagine Wexler's going to get ahead of us here. Must do, we think. Okay, that wasn't too bad. I think getting 3 stints is going to be a tricky one, so I think we send out Dulacev for a scouting run. Actually, go now. The track's kind of emptying out, so have another go now. And might as well send you out as well, actually. So, new Ultra Soft. Have another go. Oh, I've cooled those down. No, seriously, cool those down. It's much easier to handle it from the lower end, I'm thinking. Also, I should not be doing this at... yeah, speed 1 is the way to do this if I'm going to do it like that. See, that wasn't too bad, actually. Oh, well, at least we've kind of helped Dulacev out. Yeah, seriously. I think it's easier to build it up than to go down, because I think it's got a bit more control over the downward end. You see, I can do the control thing a little easier from a lower position. Either way, though, let's see if they actually improve. Dulacev then, personal best, but half a second down on the fastest time, and has Sakar in the way. Annoyingly, so does Balcazar. This might have to scrub both their set laps here, and I've set this up perfectly. Come on, Dulacev 2.8. That's not good enough, unfortunately. Balcazar improves and jumps Lipponen, though. And that wasn't about as good as that could be, but that's our best effort that we're going to have now. So we shall skip the rest of the session. Because I'm not good. I don't think... Actually, they might have had time. Yes, okay. Let's decide to send them out again. I have no objection in doing that again. I actually didn't check whether Balcazar was actually improved or not with that setup. But anyway, Balcazar actually finished qualifying 7th. Is awesome for us. That gives her a chance at lunging into the top teams after the line, and we're ahead of Windsor. Dulacev 15th has some ground to make up. What do you mean we got no chance? Have you seen Balcazar off the line? At times she is ridiculous. So again, Ultrasoft plan is the one we're going for right now. This time we are going to remember to take out the Vuel, aren't we? So car setup then. Yeah, we did actually luck into a 99, which I'm fairly thankful for. So, weather is not saying anything as of yet. The Ultrasofts will do 11 laps. That means we can technically two-stop it with a soft Ultra run. So, I think that might be the plan here. Try and make the Ultras go a bit longer than they should, and then go on to a set of Super Softs to just finish up. Might cause us to have a bit of a struggle towards the end, but I think that's going to be better than doing the free stop splash and dash, which I think it might be the strategy we use for Dulatev on the basis that... Yeah, 13 laps. We'll actually put 13 laps in. Dulatev, on the other hand, has some options. We could do a super soft run, but I think it might be better to just go hard and then fast. Or maybe we just go for 9 laps of good tyres, then see where we stand about going somewhere else. I mean, in fairness, you could do 999. You only have to make one of those last longer than normal, and we can always switch to a soft if we decide it's not going to work. So that's my thinking here. Just see if we can go quick. Obviously, off the line, we are all out attack, because if we can get any positions, especially of these top 3 teams, we need to do that. So Balcazar, Brazil, lights out. And that was a bad start from Balcazar, and we lost a position. Lost 2 positions, actually. Schmidt, oh, that was the worst start Balcazar has made. You know what I'm saying she was normally so good at these? She's in 13th place off the line. And that's not... Oh, Balcazar, what has happened to you? That's Dulatev genuinely looking like he's going to threaten you right now. Squeezed in the middle of 2 cars here. It's just a car park right now. Find a gap and try and squeeze through, I think. And there's Dulatev, who may just have a run at you here. Oh, that looked like collisions there, but... Okay, I think we're going to speed up time here, and we're going to have to hope that these two can make something of this. So here comes Balcazar now, screaming up there. Dulatev's having a bit of a good run at this as well. Up into the top 10. Dulatev just following behind right now. I think we're going to stay on the high attack strategy here because we're just so far out of position. And Balcazar's just saving a path, and Dulatev is following, which I think is not a bad little bit of team tactics going on here. Alright, so they're both now hitting the high points, so we're going to have to go neutral on tyres now. And we'll go neutral high. We'll ease Dulatev off. Keep... Okay. Dulatev, do not take him out. Balcazar being a bit mean there, just pushing Dulatev into the wall a little bit, but... Dulatev is faster than you, I think, at the moment, but we know Balcazar's got the best odds of making this work. And I think we're going to go high on the things here, and possibly even conserve on the tyres now, because they're hitting that. They're hitting the hot point. Yeah, we told you to ease off, but you can really do what you're getting past Lipponen right now. He's on the slower tyre, so he's going to go deeper into the race than we are. Oh, and Dulatev is just determined. But that's at least got Balcazar on the move, and that now means 8th and 10th for Dragon Team China. And we're ahead of Lipponen now, and ahead of... Oh, okay. So we're back on ultra pace here, and in fact all the ultra runners in the top 10 if... Oh, Dulatev was mugged. Dulatev actually mugged there. Okay, Balcazar, let's back up and try and reserve whatever we got left in these tyre grip. Try and cool them off a little bit. So Balcazar at the back of that chain. And Balcazar able to just ease up a little bit here. Gap 19, gap 8.8 to the cars in front, and we are losing ground, admittingly. That's now 9 seconds. But we've now got the tyres into a bit of a more manageable state with both drivers now. So go to normal. So Dulatev now has to last 3 laps on these tyres, so that's fine. Balcazar will try and probably last another 6. We'll see what happens, though. If that temperature spikes too high, we're going to have to go back onto the backup plan. Okay, Dulatev up into 10th. Should probably be watching Dulatev here. He's probably going to have a bit more of an interesting bit of few laps here, especially if we can get past Lipponen again. We also have... We're pretty bad on the tyre wear comparing to Surikov, but we know Surikov's actually got good tyre wear ability. Or at least a very high smoothness, because he was matching us, and that is a good move by Dulatev here, around the outside. The Ultrasoft runner on the outside, getting past Lipinen. Okay. Balcazar personal best and still going. However, we're now hitting that wall again, so back up for a bit here. And Dulatsev now is on what he's got to be his last lap. So, let's go to high fuel here. And across the line. So, Dulatsev will be pitting at the end of this. Let me just check one thing before we get too much further with this. Can we go with that? No, we'll run out of fuel. Okay. So high it is. Pit. And we got how many laps to go? Quite a few. We could put on softs and try to go to the end, but I think actually, based on what's happened thus far, we're going to go for this. So do the 9-lap strategy on this. Be fast. See what happens. Which I think is a reasonable plan here. We'll go conserve on these tyres just because we want to get some push out of them if we can. Meanwhile, here comes Balcazar. And I think we will go for the overtake button at this point. She appears to be gaining on Wexler here, which is a little odd. But they're conserving as well, so... Okay. So the question is, I suppose, from this point, do we go all-out attack and pit now? Or do we wait? Do we try and hold this out for 3 laps? Because I think if we can hold this out for 2 more laps... Let's just see where we go here and how the tyre wear is. We might have to pit this lap, though. Dulatsev is in. Should have low-fueled in the pit, I know. Oh, it was a bad fuel stop. Okay. The good news is, though, you have permission to attack. Actually, let's not attack the tyres, though. Let's go neutral high. Just see what you can do from there. Go for the push. Right. So Balcazar, on the back straight here, didn't lose a lot of tyre grip, actually, so I think she can actually do this. Make these go another lap. And I think if she can do that, we can go onto the softs and try to win from there. Here's where we're getting to... I mean, look at how much better they're running than us. Lipinen, though, is going to have to stop soon. Alright, fine. So we'll go overtake conserve. We'll pit Balcazar. 17 laps to go. The outer limits of the super soft. Or do I do exactly what I'm doing with Balcazar? No, I'm going to be on the faster tyre. Hope I can make up a gap ahead of... See, that's the thing. I think we've got to get out in front of this train. I don't think we can... No, I don't think we can do it. I do not think it is possible for us to beat this train of cars. So... Based on that, and trying to hold off for 2 laps, let's go low back up and keep going. So we're doing all we can to make this strategy work now. We'll be the only leaders not pitting. Now Balcazar leads a lap, but this should hopefully mean she doesn't have to go again. And everybody else is on the soft. That might give us something here in a moment, but we'll see. So Balcazar pits for a set of super softs. Fuel to the end. See what happens. And we know how one-stops have never worked for us. They're all going a lot faster than us now. That's the other downer. They are stuck in traffic, but so are we. We're going to be stuck in traffic in a little bit as well. And we know we're going to be overfueled, but... Neutral high. 9th place. And we are going to the end. Unfortunately, that was a tyre mistake, which possibly cost us a position or two there. But we're fairly certain the guys ahead of us are going to have to do some stops. And we did get ahead of Wexler. So that wasn't the worst thing in the world for us in terms of overall strategy. Which is now we're going to have to defend against Wexler for most of this race. Okay, so there's one of the... that was Fisher. Lippinen, though, is the one that's concerned possibly a little more, but his tyres are nearly gone. And now Blanc. Will we get past and will this be smooth? We need it to be, kind of. Okay, Lippinen in the pits. So he's going to be pitted to the end now, we would think. He's gone onto the soft. I think we're going to have to start conserving these tyres already here, because I'm looking at the heat values. Diletev going on the backup strategy here. Yeah, Diletev is behind by a pit stop now. Okay, 82. Still looking in the right window, so it's looking okay. We are ahead of Wexler by a reasonable enough margin right now. And our tyres are looking in better shape. Diletev's just not fast enough on these ultras to make the strategy work, I think. But if everybody has to stop again, and they are going to have to stop soon, then Diletev might be able to make this work. So 2 laps, we reckon. Let's go neutral. Let's start actually attacking with Diletev now. He's nursed these enough that he can do this, I think. Fortunately, got hung out to dry by Wexler there. We're Lippinen and Fisher. Lippinen and Fisher are outside the points right now. Balcazar then. Still doing a thing. I think we should go overtake here just to try and see if we can force the issue on Blanc. Oh, Blanc's actually going to pit. Okay, that's at least something. Let's push the Fuel out if we can. Just get that overall speed difference down. Okay, Diletev's going to have to pit this lap. So with 10 laps to go... and that's worked out reasonably perfect. It's going to be interesting to see whether Diletev can still stick this one out here. In fact, Diletev can go push overtake for the rest of this lap. Let's just try and get a bit of a gap going here. Be aggressive, go straight into the pits. Didn't really gain too much out of that, I guess. And hope we have a good stop. Okay, we got out ahead. That's good. that would have been a bad result if that had not worked out for us there. So, medium, high. In 16th on the ultra soft tyres. Meanwhile, Balcazar still 6th. And there's 8 laps still to go on these soft tyres now. But it's looking like she'll manage it. De Graaf in the pits. Balcazar now has... I think Balcazar does have enough fuel. It's not showing him as having it, but we'll go on to medium and just see what we can do from there. He might still pick up some points, because there's a lot of drivers in front that might not stop again, and he is on the fastest tyre. So we'll hope he can make something from there. Meanwhile, Balcazar still in 6th position. And has now hit that fuel point herself, which might be worrying, but we'll see. So 7 laps to go. Yeah, she's got a little bit of fuel conserving to do. Possibly a bit of tyre conserving as well, actually. We'll do that now while we're in the slow section. Okay, Diletev took 2 in the pits and is now up to there. Yeah, Wex is on the softs, but his tyres are going to have more grip than us soon, so he might be able to make something work. Also, Dilosev's tyres are starting to go off as well, so let's actually go back up here. Dilosev drops the position. But he's right behind the gap battle for 12th looking at that, so he might have a way of getting into this. Is that weather on the horizon? No, it isn't, thankfully. Okay, Dilosev back up to 14th. Okay, and suddenly now we have to worry about things. So let's go conserve high for Balcazar right now. And suddenly we have Wexler to defend against. Meanwhile, Dilosev, how are we doing here? He's got excess fuel as well. Let's go to high and let's go to conserve. So both drivers on high conserve. Balcazar with the harder job, I think, from here. Because he's going to start having tyre temp issues shortly and she's going to lose 6th place, I'm sure of it, very shortly. Because now her tyres are switching off. Four laps to do. Or 3.5 now, with 40% tyre wear. Well, we gamble on the one stop. Maybe we should have gone with what we did with Dilosev here, but Dilosev's not making great inroads either. Three laps to go. Balcazar with a bit of a gap here. Wexler is pushing it. Is giving everything he's got on the fuel load right now. Yeah, with 2 laps to go, I think we got enough tyre wear on both cars, so unfortunately, I don't think Dilosev's going to make anything in the... Oh, Surikov has pitted for Ultras and is now behind us in 5th. Okay, suddenly we're not going to be able to... well, we've got a sudden chance at 5th, but it seems very, very unlikely. He's got so much more grip than we do. This is the final lap, though. Give it the beans! Is it? No, actually, he's on the final lap. We're not on the final lap. Whoops. Yeah. Forget what I said. Go normal here. This seems like a very, very unlikely turn of events to stay in front here. Yeah, we had no hope of pushing that back. And actually, Dilosev's now giving a low fuel warning, so we'll go to medium. He doesn't have too much to make up, so... Checkered flag, Steinman. Sharp wins for Steinman. We should hopefully hold 6th, though. Our tyres are fairly destroyed, but they're on the last straight now. Balcazar 6th, but that's not bad at all. Lippin and Fischer in 8th and 9th will score some good points themselves, but I don't think they'll gain enough points here. And Dilosev, unfortunately, just not fast enough on these ultra soft tyres. And Modi has a mechanical issue right at the end of the race. Well, as I say, this again, we risked the one stop, although in fairness, that seemed to be the right strategy call. If we'd gone on the softs, maybe we'd have had more tyre grip at the end, but I'm not sure we'd have been quick enough to stay ahead of Wexler at that point. I don't know, it's one of those half of one, 6 of the other, but it clearly looks like one stop was the way to go. The only person who did a 2-stop really was Surikov at the end, possibly because he couldn't make the super softs work with that strategy. And Dilosev. If we had put Dilosev on the hards, though, I think he would have struggled. I might be wrong. So, gap is currently then 45 points. That's not bad for us. We can 45 points in one race seems insurmountable. In fact, it might be insurmountable. Probably as good as with the top 3 teams almost guaranteed to get the results in front of us, with very limited exceptions to that. But there we go. Improvements, 4th place. Chairman's happiness goes up 26%, which means, you know, he doesn't care too much that we got a lot of his money at the end of that. It's all good. It is all good. And we have a new sponsor to start the next event with. So, on to the final race in Dubai. of our 5th season, and it's not been bad, in fairness. Balkazar has an outside chance of perhaps overtaking Surikov. Dulatev is pretty secure in 9th. 4th place overall in Championship. I cannot argue with that, as it turns out. Obviously, next season we'll have to think about things, but yeah, the 6th and final season of my Let's Play of Motorsport Manager will resume shortly. Although we still have to do Dubai, of course. Until then.